So here recently, we've been talking a lot of Alabama and Oklahoma football, and that is going to continue today because Greg McElroy recently talked about All-American type candidates going into 2021, his top signal callers, and both Alabama's Bryce Young and Oklahoma's Spencer Rattler were listed, but more interesting than that, he actually said Bryce Young reminds him of an undersized Spencer Rattler, and I want to unpack that. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from y'all. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Do you see the similarities in Spencer Rattler and Bryce Young? And let me know what you're thinking there. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification because I do constant college football content and you don't want to miss any of it. And I'm on my push to 5,000 subscribers in my first year, and I would love to have you along for that journey. But with all of that being said, I want to unpack what Greg McElroy said because I actually do think that there are some stylistic similarities in both Bryce Young and Spencer Rattler. And I think first and foremost, the most glaring one is that there really aren't too many guys that are able to do what both Spencer and Bryce succeed at. In fact, they're few and far between. Both of these guys kind of remind you of a Russell Wilson-esque, Brett Favre-esque type player. The Russell Wilson nature because they both look like guys that would be excellent baseball players. They both have an ability to throw from any platform. The conventional quarterback platform means absolutely nothing to Spencer Rattler and Bryce Young. They can be having a defender bearing down on them and they can sidearm a throw with just as much velocity as a normal throw, and if there is a drop-off, it's not much. It's much faster and much more accurate than it should be. Both guys have that ability to do any arm throw, twist their bodies in weird motions, make it happen. And I think probably the other thing that really stands out when you look at both of these guys is both of these guys don't run for the sake of running. Both of them have a very, good ability to run the football, but neither one of them really does it for the sake of running. Both of them do it for the sake of springing a play downfield, throwing the ball. Both guys are elite at springing plays, avoiding pass rush with their eyes downfield, and not just focused on one receiver, making progression reads while evading the pass rush. It really is a lot of fun to watch. And it really explains why both guys were so highly regarded coming out of high school, because they have an absolutely electric style to them. They both have these incredibly live arms, and that kind of plays into what I said first and foremost, that they have an ability to make a throw from any platform with an arm that is the typical gunslinger arm. They will throw the football all over the field and with a lot of accuracy. Both of these guys, I think, because of that reason right there, are very stylistically similar, and I can absolutely understand where Greg McElroy is coming from because there aren't too many guys that can do that. Now look, there are other guys in college football that have every bit of the pocket ability of Bryce Young and Spencer Rattler. I mean, if we look at DJU at Clemson, goodness gracious, that guy right there is as high level of a pocket passer as there is in college football. But the thing that really separates Spencer and Bryce from him is their ability to make plays when the play breaks down. Now, don't get me wrong. DJU is incredibly athletic, and he has got the biggest arm out of any of the guys listed. I mean, he has an absolute cannon. But it's Bryce's ability to be very mobile. It's Spencer's ability to be very mobile, which is really what kind of separated them and adds a layer in their game that is very hard to take away from. Now, conversely, the layer that DJU has is that he's 6'4", 6'5", and has a literal rocket attached to his arm. You can't teach that, right? Like, that's something you're born with. Conversely, what Spencer and Bryce do is something you're born with. They have a feel for being able to make plays while evading the pass rush that you either have or you don't. Because the guys that try and do what Spencer and Bryce do, if they don't have that feel, it doesn't turn out well, and that's why we don't see a lot of them. Because this is not usually what a quarterback is taught to do to succeed. A quarterback is usually taught never to throw back across your body while rolling out. But both Bryce Young and Spencer Rattler will do just that. Should they? Probably not, but they have this weird ability to be able to get away with it with a throw that is on the money. Because of that live action arm, because of the ability for both guys to be able to navigate the pass rush, navigate the pocket, start scrambling, but then be just as deadly outside the pocket as they are inside the pocket is a rare, rare trait. And there are going to be a lot of incredibly talented quarterbacks next year. If we're talking All-American type quarterbacks, I really do agree with the Spencer Rattler, with a Bryce Young, with a Sam Howell up there, with a DJU up there. And I'm not by any means saying that Bryce Young and Spencer are just better than DJU. That remains to be seen and will be decided this year. And there are stylistic differences, so it really depends on which offense you're playing in as to which stylistic approach you want to take, because it's comparing night and day. But you get my point. I do understand Greg McElroy looking at the situation and getting a similar type vibe from Spencer Rattler and Bryce Young, because what they do, there's not a lot of guys that can succeed at, because it's not usually what you're taught and not usually what you're told works. Somehow for these guys it does, and they're really able to create magic. They're almost magicians on the football field, and it makes them incredibly special to watch. Look, we saw it last year with Spencer, being able to create magic moments, and we saw it in the A-Day game with Bryce, that first big gain he had where he was rolling, and the pass rush was coming onto him, and he just did that little stutter step forward and then back, and then had a cross-body, across-the-field throw to a wide-open running back. That right there is not usually what you want your quarterback to be doing, but these guys have an ability to do it at an incredibly high level. So I do absolutely see the similar styles between a Bryce Young and a Spencer Rattler. This ability to make a play happen out of nothing, this ability to navigate the pocket, eyes downfield, making progression reads, mind you, and making an incredibly accurate throw, very accurate arms, and very quick releases. Spencer taking over a program that has had 3 Heisman finalists, 2 Heisman Trophy winners, and you're in the Big 12 where a lot is expected of you, going into a season where a ton is expected of OU, and Bryce Young taking over for a national champion and a Heisman finalist and Mac Jones. It's really going to be exciting to see. I cannot wait for next season. I can't wait to hear what y'all think. That's it. See ya.